What's Morales from Black Film and TV? Hey, Michael, how's it going?
Hey man, you okay, bro?
Yes, we're all good. So, obviously, you're playing one of the leads in a Sam Mendes film. So, talking about this character, Stephen, you're playing, and if there's any similarities to his character and who you are.
Um, so for me, Stephen is just a young black man with a lot of positivity, hope, and lightness. He's very different. I realized very early on the fact that he studies architecture. You know what I mean, and the fact that he doesn't let any of his circumstances define him as a person were things that really stood out for me in terms of him as a character. You know what I mean? Um, in terms of similarities, I mean, I like to feel like I'm different. I don't feel like a lot of people from the world that I'm from want to, even ever try to pursue acting. So I felt like in that way we connect because I don't really know a lot of people that want to pursue architecture. You know what I mean? So yeah, and also, I just love to spread love, and I feel like that's what Stephen does. In a moment where he can easily, get out of a situation or turn his back on someone, he leans in more to try and find out more, does his research, and he's really interested because he has love for a person, and those are the things that you should do, I believe. So yeah, man, Steven's just a great kid, and I'm so happy to have been able to have the pleasure to play him.
This movie also talks about the love for cinema. For you, when did you first start loving cinema, either from when you started going to the movie theaters to watch movies, or when you wanted to be an actor? When did the bug first hit you?
um I feel like not necessarily a bug, but when I just think about things that I enjoy outside of playing games when I was younger. Like I used to love watching films that I'd watch over and over again and know all the words to and stuff like that. I feel like those are things that stood out for me, like something like Soul Plane, for example, with Kevin Hart. I used to love that film so much and watch it a lot. And I feel like that had an impact on me because like when you're reading that and you start to see like black leads and think, raw, this is something that I could potentially do one day. It's an amazing feeling.
You're working opposite Olivia Colman. We've seen her work in other different projects. Uh, what was that experience working with her, establishing that chemistry so that we, the audience, can see that these two characters care a great deal for each other?
Um, it was an amazing experience to say the least about working with Olivia because she's just such an amazing person, let alone incredible talent. You know what I'm saying? Which for me, she couldn't hide away from because she's so down to earth. So I just really enjoyed being in her presence, and it allowed me to just be more comfortable as an actor to just be able to be this character. In terms of like our chemistry, didn't really have much time to build a chemistry per se, but like the times that we spent outside of actually doing the scenes, they were cool, man. Like we just chilled. Sometimes we be chilling outside our trailers and stuff, just having conversations. And in those moments, you just build up more and more of a connection for someone, because every time you speak, you're connecting. And even in a makeup trailer in the morning and stuff, just checking in. And we play music. I'd understand her more and stuff like that. It's been special. And I was never really, because to get this role, I never done a chemistry with Olivia, unfortunately, but also maybe fortunately. But the fact that that didn't happen and Sam believed that we could make this chemistry believable and work, it gave me confidence, because Sam doesn't just give new actors like me roles because he feels sorry for us. Yeah, I'm trying to say he really gave it to me because he felt like I deserved it. And in deserving that, it must mean that I need to be able to kind of have chemistry with Olivia. So the fact that he believed it gave me a strong sense of belief that we would just make it work. And lo and behold, it did because she's such a lovely person.
Speaking about making it work, when you think about the characters in itself, during that time period, and there's an issue of race involved, how believable or credible is that relationship? As people will see, like, oh, okay, they definitely care for each other. But is this something that when people see it, being that it is based on a certain time period in England, does it make sense? When people see it, as far as is there a great deal of care between your character and Olivia's character?
I definitely feel like there's a great deal of care. Because these are people that are drawn together by loneliness. Not sure if you're asking that, but these two people are just good people, and they're just drawn together. I always I was thinking about this a lot recently. In that moment, in the moments that Stephen connects with Hilary, they're always kind of like solitary moments. Obviously, when she first is showing him around the ballroom and stuff like that, and then after they meet up on New Year's Eve, or Stephen goes to her. What I felt with that was if he had his friends, that had got into uni, if they were still in the area, he might not have taken that opportunity to go to see Hilary on New Year's Eve, which is what actually shifts the whole kind of trajectory of their relationship, which I found was really beautiful. So for me, it's just like when you're lonely and you find connection, or find kind of home in someone, those connections are going to be more meaningful. And I feel like that's what it was based off of between Hilary and Stephen. It's just a connection that they shared, and then it was allowed to blossom, which you never get to really see on screen between a young Black man and an older white female.
Mm. You said a newcomer like yourself. I don't consider you a newcomer because I've seen you in other projects. It's a matter of just how visible are you being seen, depending on the projects you do. When you're working with Sam Mendes, having worked on other projects, what did you take from his direction that would help you out down the road in other projects you may do? What enhanced within your skill set as an actor?
I feel like Sam just kept telling me to trust myself more, and it's kind of a shared general kind of feedback I get from the directors I worked with, especially recently, is just to trust myself more, trust my instincts a lot more. But I never really understood what my instincts were, you know what I'm trying to say, until working on this project. So he really made me understand instinctively what I was doing well and stuff that I could work on. And those are the things that I would definitely keep in mind, not even just by getting directed by Sam, who is incredible. Like, when he's directing us, he's extremely articulate and he knows what he wants. So it was easy in terms of like a process. But just learning from the other actors as well and seeing how they kind of get into character. Like Olivia doesn't really like spend a lot of time rehearsing and stuff like that. So the fact that she can go in and just give a take almost immediately that could be the one in the film, that for me that was beautiful to see. But then you'd see some of the other actors like Toby, he kept reading over the lines and making sure he, the words was really in him, so that he was able to express it really well, and finding ways to just make it sound just completely normal. I found was amazing to watch that process. And it just made me realize as well that there's not one process that's the same. Everyone's got their own thing to get to the ultimate goal for all of us, which is to be as authentic as possible. And it made me want to trust my process a lot more. And working with Sam and him having like curating this space of actors where everyone kind of was just open and free, it allowed me to be a lot more open and free too.
What goes into saying yes to any of the projects you take? Is it the role? Is it who you're working with? Uh, you know,
Story, story for
Everybody
me
likes to
as well.
say it's all of it, but is there anything that sticks up before you say yes?
The story is very important for me, because storytelling, like I feel like in terms of a story, of course, things can be done badly, but if you stick by a story that you love and you'd love to be involved in, no matter what happens, you still stick by that story, because at the end of the day, that's what people are watching it for. And I learned that a lot within this process too, like the stuff that I kind of want to do and the stories that I want to be involved in. But also outside of that, it's things like, making sure that I just don't do anything now that's set that, you can put them people in the same world and they can live together, if that makes sense. Or live together like they're twins or something, they're completely different people. And I feel like that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. So anything that allows me to grow and kind of stretch myself as an actor, for me, I'm excited by it. You know, yeah, those are the things that kind of go into my decision making. There's a lot more, but those are the main things: the story and how I can grow from it, and obviously the people involved is super important as well. But then again, you get so many new directors and new writers, that they're not necessarily known or stuff, but they're still talented. And you want to work with them in the early stages of their career. So I'm for that as well. Like, because people took a chance on me when they necessarily didn't need to. So I'm all about doing that as well.
Michael, congratulations on the performance. Congratulations on getting the role. Obviously, it's a great visibility for you. Keep doing your work. It's good seeing you again, and we'll talk down the road on your next project. Take
Thank
care.
you so much. Lovely to see you again, man.
All right. Bye.